back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Baileyton Drug Company. James Buchanan and Sam Tarleton, TMB, BNT, whatever you want to refer to that show, presented by Starne's Barbershop. As always, I'm here with Lady Huskies head coach James Buchanan and Huskies head coach Sam Tarleton. Fellas, the question is always, how we doing today? I'm going to switch it up. How we feeling today?
Feeling good. How are you feeling? You've been sick.
I'm feeling a little better. This is why we're doing this a little late now, because we were supposed to do it on Friday.
You like my new necklace?
I do. Do you like his new necklace?
We got him at the same place.
Yeah, same
Did
place.
Yeah, his was just a couple days after mine. I told him about it, so he went and got him one.
Just about 80-something feet separate from each other?
Yeah. Happy times, Tyler. Feels like we're kind of back at the head of the table.
Yeah.
I think we moved around a few seats.
Yeah.
I think there was a couple times we went and was hiding under the table. And it feels good to be both of us heading back. Well, first time since 21.
Yeah, I think it's about.
Since both?
I skip years.
22, I think.
22?
Yeah.
Oh, I skip years. Coach has been like the last 5 years. So.
Is it 5 now?
I was 21 because it was Schultz, wasn't it? Jason's
22.
freshman year?
Next year we win again. So.
Okay, so you've been in 18, 21, 22, 24.
And he's been since like 1998.
5 in a row.
We've been at Booker T.
5 times.
5 times. 5 times. We said that like the first episode of this season.
Mm-hmm.
That if we did that, we would say the whole Booker T 5 times.
That's amazing. 5 times in a row. It is.
There's not many in the state that can really hold a claim to that. And there are a lot of high schools within the state, too. Whenever you really dig deep and look at it, it's rare to see a coach take 5 straight teams to the state tournament.
Or a boys coach. Why ain't you got all this figured out? You should have all this mapped out like over the last 6, 7 years. 7 years. This is your 7th year, right?
My 7th year.
How many boys teams have been 4 times? Is it 4?
Yeah, we've gone 4 now.
4. Hey, and then you got girls. How many is that? Like 9?
No? Yeah.
9 trips to the state tournament. But you know, volleyball has been.
Girls
Softball has been.
Did baseball go
Baseball has been.
Mhm.
We went and watched them.
Yeah, they went
Seems
twice
like you were helping coach softball.
Yeah.
And we jumped over and
Yeah.
I think we went to Stewart's Creek.
Yeah.
And watched them play somebody. I don't even remember.
Did you say
who they
volleyball?
played. Volleyball's been once.
Hey, we went with volleyball.
Yeah, I was about to say, you were
Hey,
the coach.
he captained that ship. I was just
No.
driving the bus.
I was just making sure they knew what time to get on the bus.
They were kind of self-coached.
I did look up some interesting stat last night. You've been here since 2018, right?
Yeah.
Since you've been here, I think one of you two have went to state every year except one, and that was 2019.
What a horrible year that
I
was.
think you took off that year.
Sorry.
But, you know, who prevented us from going that year in girls was Midway.
Midway? Okay.
Got them back.
There you go.
We had to wait a little while to roll that back.
The revenge game.
Yeah, we got a lot to... And by the way, when's this dropping?
Tonight.
Tonight. Well, it's actually...
You'll probably be down there in Murfreesboro, or maybe not quite there yet.
I'm still yet to see an episode. So
Have you not?
Yeah, I'm not seeing.
Well, maybe somebody can show you one today.
Okay, it's 12:10 Eastern time.
It is.
We're supposed to leave. The kids are going to start gathering at 12:30. We've got media outlets that are coming to do some interviews, and hopefully we'll be on the road by 1. That's our travel plans. Just excited about going. I don't even know where we're eating supper at tonight.
Are you practicing today?
We've already practiced.
Have you? Okay.
Yeah, it's election day.
While you were sleeping.
You were in bed.
What time did you practice?
9 to 11.
I was half in, half out.
Yeah,
I was
you
half-
were in
9 to 10 range. I was half in,
You were
half
in
out.
the sack.
Yeah.
Well, we done put in a day's work. It was a hard practice too. We ain't had one in a while.
I was about to say, you probably haven't had one in.
Well, you
Did
play.
you play yet? Did you practice yesterday?
We watched film yesterday.
Okay, so you haven't practiced probably since Friday?
We have to heal. We have to spend time healing around here because we have such a small team, small roster. They all play huge minutes, so we just do a lot of recovery, and we've done that for the past couple years now, and it's worked fairly well. They do good in film. And then, you know, I just have this fear that you're going to have somebody roll an ankle or blow out a knee in a practice. and you're thinking, why were we even doing that drill?
Yeah.
Or why were we going so hard live? And some of that is necessary, but when we do have a hard practice this late in the year, we've just been doing a lot of drills and some individual improvement stuff, and then we get into the other team. But yeah, we've done practiced, so the hay's not in the barn yet, though. We still got a little bit of film study tonight. We've got a shoot-around walk-through tomorrow at Middle Tennessee Christian School. You remember Lynn Berkey?
Lynn Berkey.
He coached Greenville's girls. Then he went to Shelbyville to coach girls. Then he assisted Rick Enzel at Middle Tennessee State. Then he took the head coaching job at Middle Tennessee Christian. He still works there, I think. And now he helps out over at Lebanon High School. So
Mercy Joe.
he's your contact man if you ever need to get a gym down there. And he's always been gracious to put us with somebody that'll let us in. So Middle Tennessee Christian, we got to walk through, shoot around tomorrow. Tip-offs at 4 Central, 5 Eastern. Greenfield Yellow Jackets. Maybe we'll get some revenge there too. That's about the biggest beat down we've ever took at the state tournament. And then it was such a beat down, they canceled the rest of the tournament. They felt sorry for us and they just shut it down. Or it was a pandemic. Something like that.
Maybe a mix of both.
Yeah, maybe so.
That was a good team.
You going?
If they win Wednesday, I'm going to go on down, I think. We're going to practice tomorrow. I told my kids that if the girls win, we're going to go down there on Friday and watch them. We'll give them off on Friday.
You got a big layover. It's always like that when it comes to the boys.
It's a little easier for boys. I wouldn't say easier. I guess you got more time to mess things up. But anyway, Coach got to go quick.
Yeah,
we get a little week break here. It was good for us because we're trying to get healthy, and then we get prepared. So we'll watch Coach do it first, and I'll see if I can figure out a few things.
Does that ever bother you when you get that week off? I know we kind of talked about it with having that first round of the regional tournament, but state tournament's kind of a little more scary than the regional tournament.
Well, now that we've done it a time or two, I always get a few older kids come in here and we'll practice a day, so it's like we play. So I think about anything I throw at these kids.
Let me ask you this.
They've done it. Yep.
I ain't putting Harriman down. They got one of the most athletic and freakish kids that I've ever seen at the high school level. I mean, that kid is good. He's going to be on television. He's that good. Was your practice before the game harder?
I think overall it was. I do. We had some
Thank you, alumni.
Yes, North Carolina alumni. Them boys are always just so good to come in here and help us out. Give us a look on what the other team's trying to do. And yeah, I think sometimes it may be harder what we're doing in practice, especially the other guys, than it was, when we got to the game. So I think that definitely helps.
Who did you get to kind of mimic him in practice?
We've had several guys. We had Turner did it a little bit. Nick Lawler comes. He played at Greenville.
Okay, yeah.
I'm trying to go through. Jared Williams comes, helps a lot. Matt Williams comes, helps a lot. Wes Dodson, Cody Freshour,
Big Chase
Malone, Big Smooth, Elijah Smith,
okay.
Andy Stevens, like this. All the guys that I've coached here over the last 7-8 years, and even guys that played here before, they're so good that I'll sit out in that group text and they'll show up and man, just giving those guys a good look and then also encouraging them as they go along. I think that's kind of really special to see. I have fun those days because you have the guys used to coach back in, and they get to hear me yell, and they always say the same thing. Coach, you're getting soft. You don't want to ever fuss at these kids, not near as much you fuss at us. But I don't know if that's true. So it's fun.
It's a great alumni system whenever you can have a bench come through.
Mm-hmm.
It's great when you can have a starting five, but when you can have players sit on the bench, that's when you know it's special.
Yeah.
But I want to talk about the games in particular.
How far back we got?
That's what I was about to say. We won't touch on all of them because I think,
especially the ones we lost, we're just going to skip them.
Because it's been almost 2 entire weeks since we've sat down. Because I think we had to reschedule this.
Have you
twice.
had like a major outcry of people wondering what has happened and where's
Probably have. We didn't announce anything, but once they'll see this, they'll understand. And I apologize myself. I was sick.
They probably thought
I was sick
the show got canceled or something.
Nah.
He was bad sick.
Can't get canceled with what's around your neck right now.
That's right.
Well, let's talk about yours. I think the last one that we had talked about that I had scheduled to talk about was maybe Hancock County.
We ain't talked Washburn or nothing.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But
I'll
you could go
fast.
through, just take me through the regional
I'm not even
tournament.
packed our uniforms and stuff yet, so I'm gonna have to go pretty quick today.
You tried to do it in a minute with 2 or 3 games. Can you do that again?
I can't do that. Oh yeah. You want to put us on the clock here?
we
Now
go.
wait, this ain't
You got
fair.
your own clock or?
No,
Okay, you clicked on clock. I didn't know.
I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to turn Bluetooth off. Okay. So Washburn, scariest game of the year. Always it's the scariest game of the year. Regional semis, especially when it's a team that you feel like you're evenly matched with, so it could go either way. People see that final score and they're like, why were you worried? Listen, they had foul trouble in the second quarter. They had kids having to play major minutes that I don't think played a ton this year in close games. We were playing well, I thought. So they couldn't buy a shot. Some of that might have been our defense. Some of it,
I think a lot of it has to do with that. Golly, they're prepared,
Mhm.
coach. Not coach. Tyler. That's the
but
best way I know how to put it. Always prepared.
it was a perfect storm in the right direction for us in that second quarter. I don't think they scored. I think it was 14-0 in the second
I
quarter.
think so too.
They
and
weren't
they-
making threes, and if they were driving, Hannah was
Yeah.
swatting it off the wall. So
So, I mean, just a great defensive effort. And then in the third quarter, we started knocking some shots down from the perimeter. He went zone to kind of keep us from scoring on the interior. And as soon as he did, we make 3 straight threes. So now they're back in man. And, probably one of the better played games of the whole year for us. So the kids, I think they really wanted to win that one and punch a ticket to sub-state. Then we get in the finals, and that's where we could talk for an hour about those 2 days trying to figure out where to play these games. No need to put all that on air. There was a whole lot of stuff that went on as far as, well, somebody wanted to play it here and somebody else wanted to play it there. And everybody's supposed to try to get on the same page, and you try to be easy to work with.
I made it hard on coach.
Well, what here at the bottom line, I think what every coach should do is take care of their own kids. And sometimes you can't help it. In life, this happens. People just get upset with you. You basically have a choice to make. Do I tick off his school, or do I take care of my own? And I'm responsible for my kids. So we did not want to play the regional tournament back at Happy Valley. I don't think that was the best scenario for my kids. So West Ridge was a gracious host, fine facilities, great place to park and go watch a ball game. So, I mean, we're not going to get into all the particulars on that. That'd take forever. But we did come to a compromise. And, the Cloudland game was brutal, I'm sure, to watch. You would have hated it because you're
I was
the
there.
run and gun, fun and gun. Let's score 100 if we can. And it's
I'll give it to you though. I think I've told you this another time too. It's not the most fun games to watch because there's not a lot of action, but it's
Yeah.
the easiest stories to write.
well, or go.
You get to talk about every single bucket.
Here's
'cause
my.
there's not many
I
buckets
think
made.
there's a ton of action if you know what action you're looking at.
That's like people say they hate watching baseball. That's because
I
they don't know
agree.
what's going on.
I agree with both sides of the coin, but whenever it comes down to it, a lot of times my longest stories, like I mentioned
Yeah.
before, like the ones with the most action,
Yeah.
the higher scoring games,
You know,
like you have a triple overtime game, that's a whole college essay.
I see for sure what you're saying, but I'm saying like just that if you watch like the progressions of their
Mhm.
games and then you see what actually they're trying to do and then how one counters the other, one can't handle this from the other, and then this does that to the other, and you know that both teams are good and both teams are well coached, and it's just they don't score because like the kids suck. It's just because they know each other so well.
It's strategic. I like
Yeah.
that part.
Yeah.
That's why I think baseball's fun for a lot of people. It's not fun for some, but for some it's fun because of the strategy you have to put behind it and what will work and what won't work.
And it's not been that long ago that I think last year we played them 3 times and won 2 out of 3. The year before that, I don't know. I think we beat them 3-1 or 4-0.
I think I wrote it in my article that you have played 19 times in 5 years now.
We've played them like 75 times in 24 years.
Because I think you've played them 4 years this year and the 3 years before last, which would be 16. And then you played 3 last year because I don't think you met in the regional tournament. I think you played Unaka in the semis, Hampton in the finals. So
last
you just
year,
played
yeah.
3, yeah.
Yeah, just 3 last year, but besides last year, it's been like 4 every year for the past, like, and how are the Huskies doing?
And that series are doing pretty well.
Yeah. Now, it was their turn this year. They had a great team, senior laden, kids that were hurt last year that were able to bounce back and have big years for them this year. My hat's off to them. Coach Birchfield does a great job with them. And I think they can make some noise down there just as well as anybody else really can. I mean, nobody knows right now until we get down there, but we're not going to make no excuses. They were just a better team. They were the better team 4 times. If you look at our final score in all 4 games, we scored 22, 27, 26, and 17. So the thought process was, you know, if it's going to be that difficult to score on them, then we've got to lengthen our possessions to maybe keep them from scoring as often. And, you know, we had a few hiccups and a few missed assignments. We went for a steal, and they make a pull-up jumper uncontested. Or, you know, we've got a player that she loves going left, but you always got to know she's spinning back right. She spins back, gets an and one when we know it's coming. You got another kid that's, you know, a good catch-and-shoot 3-point shooter, and you're not supposed to help off the same side. And here we are collapsing on a cover down on the same side. When you play a good team like that, you can't make any mistakes if you want to win. You can't make any. And that's just an example of how it is when you play them. And we have to learn how to generate more offense, and I think they helped us. They helped us to go on the road and be able to beat Midway because I think we need to be a little more aggressive out of our ball screens. You know, we've been depending a lot on some high-low stuff and, you know, some other actions that we try to do to generate some offense, and we kind of get stuck in a rut looking at one thing. And I thought, well, what we need to be able to do is call on some of these other kids, and they need to be looking to do a little more. And Cloudland pointed that out to us. So we had some kids at Midway step up, go make some plays. So thanks, Cloudland. They helped us beat Midway. And here we are both going to the same place. So I don't know. And then the Midway game, that was exciting. It was also very frustrating. You know, last year we went on the road and won at Oneida, and I was so proud of how we played, and I was so excited when we won. But this time, we did everything in the world wrong in the final minute and a half of that game, and it was very frustrating. And the game had to end and be over with for 5 or 10 minutes before it kind of set in that, hey, we're going back to the state tournament, and this is really cool, and I'm really happy about that. But I was very angry at the end of that game. We missed 8 free throws and had several turnovers. We watched a 4-point lead dwindle to 3, then dwindle to 2, and I mean, it was just a nightmare the last minute and a half. But if you go through the course of that whole game, and we held a really good team with a high-powered offense to 31 points when they've got 700 people in there screaming and cheering for them. I mean, it was a hostile environment. So just very proud of our kids. That's a big win for us. How'd I do? What's the clock?
I cut it off at like 6 minutes.
Sorry, everybody.
Once you got to about 5.5, 6, I said, he's already broken.
Got the clock.
Sorry.
Yeah. Coach, take me through yours. I know the last time we had talked, you had a first-round bye in the regional tournament after defeating UH in the District 1 1A championship. You get that first-round bye. You go into the semifinals. I can't remember off the top of my head right now who you met up with, and then you ended up meeting UH once again in the regional championship. Didn't go the way you wanted to. They took that one away from you, but in the end, you're going to the state tournament. They're getting. What am I trying to say? They're going home, I guess I should say. So
Yeah.
in the end, you get what you wanted. You're going back to the state tournament. How are you feeling at the moment?
I'm just really proud of our kids. Before I talk about the win last night, I guess we put ourselves in a good position and got a bye there in the first round of the region. Then we had to play Cloudland, who kind of got hot there late in the year. They got 2 straight wins. They were playing better. We were able to come out and take care of business there at Cosby. And then you got the kind of the rubber match there with University High. And I thought we played very hard, and I thought we competed. I didn't think we played well against University High in the region championship. We turned the ball over 12 times in the first half, I think it was. We missed several layups early. It was not very good from the free throw line. But then we look up there in the third and the fourth, and, we're fighting, scratching, and clawing. We got a chance to win. Lance went down on us there earlier in the third with an ankle injury, so we had to kind of flip a lineup or two, and we just weren't able down the stretch. I think we were up 1 with 1:30 to go, and we turned the ball over, and then we come down and got a stop, and then we missed 2 free throws. So I guess what makes me so proud about how things went last night is, the game before we didn't execute down the stretch, and then last night they executed very, very well down the stretch. We had Ben and McLean step up and make 2 big free throws, then Lawson Davenport step up and make 2 more big free throws when they missed free throws the game before. So that's showing a lot of, resolve and toughness. As far as that sub-state game, we knew it was going to be tough. We knew what we were up against. I think that kind of speaks for itself. 27-2.
Number 1 team in the state.
Number 1 team in the state.
Mr. Basketball
They got
finalist.
the Mr. Basketball finalists. They got the Division I player. But we got in here and we watched the film, and this is going to sound, I don't know. I don't want it to sound bad, or I don't want it to sound like we're putting Harriman down. But, I got in there and told them, yeah, they're all these things, and I'm sure they are a great team. But, to prove, the film don't lie. And we played 10 teams as good as Harriman this year.
I said that last night when I was watching. I said 5. You want to name them or just not say that? Sullivan East every bit as good as they are.
I'll name them. Put me name
Chucky Doak's better than they are.
I think
South Green.
South Green, Chucky Doak.
UH.
What
about Unicoi? Because I didn't see them
you
this
got
year.
Unicoi, who's as good. You got Tennessee High.
Dobbins
You
Bennett.
got Dobbins Bennett. 10, I'm stretching. 7 teams.
Sullivan East.
Sullivan East, 8. I don't know.
So you're saying we did a good job scheduling?
Well, that we're saying early on we were cussing the scheduler, but then right now we're praising him.
We always say that, it seems like. You always get those stretches of 6 straight road games against these tough opponents, but at the end of the year when it matters most, you look at when you have to go on the road against the number 1 team, it benefits you every single time.
No, I thought we were battle tested. I don't know that they were, and I thought you seen that throughout the game.
We controlled it from start to finish.
That was a huge thing that we talked about all week. Is just our start, and man, I think we were up 17-7 or something like that, or 15-5 at the end of the first quarter. I don't know. I can go all the way through, but it's just the resolve. We were out down 2 kids. We had guys, Brody and Jaden and Tamo, and guys like that step up. Lawson was great as far as guarding or being a help defender and taking care of the ball for us. I think Tyler was great in help, and he made some timely shots. Bennett did a great job on their stud. He got 31, but I think he had to work for all 31 of them. And then, golly, Jason, he was electric.
Except that one where we turned it over.
Oh, he didn't work
And
for that one.
his head he was looking down in the rim.
When he dunk 1?
I ain't played
2.
He disappointed the fans at one
Yeah,
time.
he finger rolled it.
He had a breakaway and he just laid it in. I thought, well,
Sometimes it's the safest option.
I don't know. He's pretty safe on anything. He's definitely. I don't know that I'd crown him as the best I've seen in single A. I think I would reserve that for old buddy from Clay County. He was good. What's his name?
Strong.
Grant Strong. Yeah, he was really good. But he's definitely the most probably athletic player, and definitely has the best upside for being a Division I player. I think when he puts some weight on that frame, he's going to be very, very dangerous. But our kids came in and competed, and I couldn't be more proud of them. We showed a lot of toughness, and that's kind of what we've been preaching all year. We've been lacking that some, but we don't.
It all
lack
come
now.
around then.
Yeah, we don't lack it now. So I'm super proud of our kids.
I know we've been talking about the last few interviews now where you got to a point where you turned it around, and we talked about it where you're seeing what you had spoke about throughout the last, I'd say, 3 interviews coming to fruition when you complained about it the first 7 or 8. What game do you feel like was the turning point for your team that kind of turned things around and made them realize, like, okay, we're a really good team. We've got the ability to beat some of these best teams?
I don't know that there was a certain game. I thought even in some losses there the second half of the year after Christmas, we were showing flashes.
Okay, like the University High one here at home?
Yeah, well, even after Christmas. I think there's a Chucky Dope game in here, then University High, yeah. And, even South Green this last time we lost, but I thought for stretches we played well. And then we kind of got on a run there at the end, and I think really that Sullivan East senior night what kind of solidified, hey, maybe Coach is right on this stuff. If we do this stuff, we can win. And then we're able to, turn that into a district championship. And, it's been good. I think it makes it tough on you when you go send 2 and 3 kids at a guy. Your other guys got to be really good at finding shooters and rotating. And then that kind of opens up the offensive glass. I thought we were really good on the glass last night.
Get in here, E-Dog. Hey, is that lady still out there? No. Okay.
She's gone.
Yeah, she's gone.
Look at this, man. Have you ever done anything but go to the state tournament while you've been coaching?
Sit down, E-Dog.
That's a good question.
This is my 4th year in a row.
I was going to say that to you.
Golly.
You can't ever get rid of Grace.
You can't
5 in a
do
row,
anything.
and she's been a player for 4 years, and she's been an assistant coach for one of those too.
How about that?
It's winners. This man breeds winners.
The day she stops being a coach for you is the day you're going to have to start to worry, like, okay, we're going to have to try a little bit harder now.
Hey, listen, if he gets one more next year, both daughters have gone all the way through and never missed a state.
Well, way to put that on us there.
Hey,
You wasn't me.
Didn't
You know
he
what?
say
What's the
something?
matter?
Didn't he say something crazy at the start of the year about us?
Yeah, about winning the whole thing.
You've guaranteed stuff before, like, I'm going to guarantee a win at Hampton, this and that, and I'm like, okay.
I need to
I
shut
don't think
that
he's,
stuff
I
up.
don't think he's guaranteed. You might have guaranteed one thing, but I can't remember what it is.
We
Probably
went
didn't
to the
have.
state
I
tournament.
think you guaranteed that. Yeah, that might have been one of them. But you said at the end of his career, he's going to be up on that list that we looked at, like the leaderboard of all-time wins.
Oh, he's good. Yeah, he's the best there is. No fact.
I may go to heaven long before that, boys.
We
Okay,
don't know
good
though.
too. Good.
But
Hey, that was our word of the night last night.
what was it?
Good.
Good.
Harriman's ranked number 1. Good. We're down 2 players.
Good.
Good. Rockets crowd. Good. Hey, we may get down 15 in the first quarter.
Double OD.
Good. That's that. And I think they really had that mindset. And like I said, I couldn't be more proud of them.
There's
I
always
got
that
to pack
magic.
our stuff. I need.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. We're
We need a
going
commercial break.
break right now.
My name is Robert Starnes. I'm a lifelong resident of Northern Greene County, where I currently reside here with my wife and 3 children. I was in Barber in Greenville for the last 6 years, but I have recently changed locations to my new shop in Baileyton. It's at 285 Mortis Hollow Lane, Afton. I'm also a proud supporter of North Greene Athletics. Come see me for all of your men and boys grooming needs. Go Huskies!
Baileyton Drug Company services the surrounding communities of Baileyton with excellent patient care using a full-line pharmacy, over-the-counter selections, and a convenient drive-thru. When you visit us, you are treated as a neighbor, not a number. It's not just our slogan, but our culture. We're invested in our patients, local schools, and community. For over 5 years now, we have established ourselves as an independently family-run pharmacy that isn't driven by corporate goals. We are driven by what is best for your overall health and wellness. We're conveniently located so you don't have to make the drive. Prescription drugs are just the tip of the iceberg. We also offer natural remedies, essential oils, at-home medical needs such as walkers, rollators, bath accessories, as well as wound care products. And coming soon, basic urgent care services. What makes us better than other drugstores out there? When you frequent Baileyton Drug, you will receive professional, courteous, and friendly service that goes above and beyond any other pharmacy in the area. Remember, you're a neighbor, not a number.
Pizza, pancakes, or donuts, the Davy Crockett Travel Center in Baileyton has the cure for all your cravings. While you're there, shop our general store for souvenirs, gifts, and cellular accessories. In a hurry, grab a cold drink and a hot dog to go. Check us out on Facebook and come to Baileyton.
Welcome back to Grassroots Media. Welcome back to this week's edition of the Baileyton Drug Company. James Buchanan and Sam Tarleton, TMB, BNT, whatever you want to refer to it as show. Presented by Starne's Barbershop. As always, I'm here with Lady Huskies head coach James Buchanan, Huskies head coach Sam
You want to
Tarleton.
know why we really won yesterday?
Did you get fresh cuts from
Robert
Starnes?
Starnes. I went over there to get me a fresh cut. Gave this man $20. He wouldn't even take it. Put it back in my pocket. Said, this cut's going to take you all
Look
the
at
way.
that.
Look at that.
Look what it did.
Robert
Took
Starnes.
you all the way.
Yeah, took me all the way.
Worked it all the way. Had a good crowd last night. Good energy down there at Harriman.
Oh my gosh.
They got a big old gym, and they
I
had one
noticed
side
that for a
of
1A team. Do they have a 2-level?
They got full fast over here behind me. I looked one time, I was like, all right. And then I looked again, and I was like, oh, that's a lot of people.
Well, at least their student section was behind their bench.
Yeah, and not yours.
I wasn't going to mention that.
Yeah, I thought
You know
I was
what?
gonna lose my hearing that night.
I actually went over and spoke to the student section after the Midway game on the road, and I complimented them because they were there in full force to support their kids, their fellow students, and all that. So they kept it clean, and the kids are going to boo and stuff like that. But here's how I turned that around on my kids. When you can't even hear during a timeout because you've got people screaming so that you can't hear, if they feel like they got to do all that to beat you, you think they do that when them bad teams come rolling around that they really don't care if they beat or not, or they know it's not going to be an issue?
It's the same concept of like court storming.
Do
in
they
college
storm the
basketball.
floor after they've beat
A team?
Miami,
No.
Clemson, NC State, Wake Forest, Arkansas? You storm the floor when you beat Ole Miss? No, you storm the floor when you beat Duke, Carolina, Kentucky, the big dogs.
Kansas.
That's when you storm the floor. So when you see people out in full force, you can either figure one of two things. It's either a really important game that folks really want to win, or they really hate you, or maybe it's some kind of combination of the two. So I told my kids, just take it as a compliment. When people hate you and want you to lose, you're doing something right. You're making it to big games, or they just enjoy beating you because it don't happen very often, Okay.
Let's talk about that game tomorrow a little bit.
Greenfield. Yellow Jackets. Fast. Athletic. Shoot it well. Their defense actually looks like a mirror because we do a lot of switching with 4 positions.
Mm-hmm.
We don't switch much with our 5. They play the same type of coverage with their 5. So they're a gap and help type team rather than a deny the passing lane type team, So it's almost like watching us in a mirror. Now offensively, they're a little different than we are. They're more like a very similar offense to Unaka. It's got some aspects of Unaka, Cloudland, and Midway. Teams that we've not just been very familiar with, but we've played them recently.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that I told my kids is it may be the same type of offense, but some of the players have different skill sets. So we've had to make a few adjustments there. We went through some of their sets and stuff this morning. So hopefully we're prepared and focused. I do know this. This was a little aggravating, and it's just human nature. When you look at a bracket, first of all, how those polls look now. When you got like half of the teams in the top 10 didn't even go to the state tournament. So
I was actually looking at that.
yeah, I mean,
I think Sunday or it might have been yesterday before all of the games because, or no, it was after you all won on Saturday night because I was looking at all of the games in 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, and I actually took the screenshot of the top 10 and I marked out the ones that were no longer alive. And it's crazy when you look that the last rankings on some classifications, this is an exaggeration, this isn't a fact, so don't go fact checking on it, but you can look and there's like 6 of the 10 teams are no longer in.
Yeah, well, I think in single A it's 5.
Is it 5?
5 or 6. So, but 1, 2, and 3 are all still alive, and they're all still on one side of the bracket. So people saw that, which I think puts too much stock in the poll. And then they saw us on the other side of it, and they said, well, I mean, you got a great draw. And I think people are expecting us to be in the state championship game or something like that, which that would be great. But I don't think anybody needs to be looking past Greenfield. I've seen them on film.
If you're here at this point, you're a good team.
They're better than Midway, and they're every bit as good as, if not better than Cloudland. And those are 2 teams that we struggle with. Barely beat Midway. We've had our problems with Cloudland all year. So we're going to have to really play well, and we're going to have to defend well to have an opportunity to win that game. So people look at win-loss records. Greenfield's lost 10 games. Listen to this. 2 of them's University School of Jackson, who just won the private school state championship. 2 of them's to Gibson County, who's like 30-something and won, and the best team in AA, maybe. So there's 4 of their 10 losses. They've lost 2 to South Fulton. They split with them 2-2 during the season. And think about this, South Fulton's another single A state tournament team. So, I mean, that's just 6. They got 4 more losses somewhere along the way, but 6 losses are the teams that are. Oh,
losses.
yeah. So, and that's about like us. People look at us and see we've lost 10. We've lost 10. We lost 4 to Cloudland. And then you play in a ladies' classic. You play top quality teams like we have all year. So, I don't know. It'll be a tough task, but we'll see what happens.
Back to the glass house.
We're going back.
How many times?
I'll see you down there.
This is 8.
8.
8.
Big 8.
Last year was lucky number 7. I don't know anything.
It wasn't very
clever to say
lucky. We
about
got
8.
beat, Tyler. I didn't see much luck going on there. We lost.
Last year, I think, was a year that a lot of people didn't expect you to go last year, though. That's what I think made that 7th one special.
I think less people thought we'd go this year.
You think?
Oh, yeah.
I think so, too.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I guess I'm the only one that's opposite in a way.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
I thought you had a better shot this year than the year before because last year was the year you lost a lot of people. You came in this year losing a whole new starting lineup.
Yeah.
We saw it last year. You could do it again.
Reload. Just a reload.
You could do it again.
Yeah.
That's why I wasn't surprised whenever you won Saturday night. I was like, you did it last year. You can do it again.
Good.
There we go.
Good.
Let's talk about your game. Santa Fe. Not New Mexico.
I'm going to have to sneak.
Go for
I need
it.
to pack some stuff.
I'll see you
I'll
tomorrow.
maybe back here in a
Coach,
second.
good luck to you.
Maybe back.
I'll bring my stuff too.
Well, we got a little longer than him. So
Yeah, you
I
got.
just got some films. I just looked now. I got my films rolling in. Just to be honest with you, I don't know too often much about Santa Fe other than they have a really good player,
Slaughter.
Slaughter. And I'm sure they're what, 24 or 25 and 4, 5 and 6, something like that. So I'm sure they're a good team. Like I said, there's no more bad teams. So we'll get in here over the next few days. We'll develop some kind of plan. We'll try to watch some film and practice, and then we'll try to go up there and execute it.
Good news is you got a lot of time to prepare.
Yeah.
Most of the time, whenever you play in a regional championship and then you got to prepare for sub-state, which is the most important game up to that date, you might only have 1 or 2 days to prepare. With state tournament, you've now got 8 days to prepare from now until then. Not necessarily 8 days of practice, but you can still prepare in different ways on those days off too where you don't practice. So what are you doing in those days off outside of watching film?
Well, today we're trying. I just gave them off because
They deserve it.
Yeah, hard fought win last night. We want to get a day to just decompress. We got a few guys we're trying to get healthy. We're trying to get Lance his ankle better. Sam is hopefully getting discharged from the hospital today. So hopefully in a day or two, yeah, great news. Hopefully in a day or two we'll have him back. And then, so we'll get in here tomorrow and practice. I think I'll try to figure out something as far as on the film tonight. We'll probably start with personnel. That's what we always do, just kind of get familiar with who we're playing. And then, as the week goes on, we'll kind of develop what we're going to try to do to them and as far as what we're going to try to do as far as our kind of stuff. And then later in the week, I don't like that too big of a break, so we'll probably get some kids in here and play. So it's like we keep that, playing every 2 or 3 days schedule. We'll hopefully get down there Friday if the girls are still alive and watch them. So, we got a week here to figure it all out.
I think Coach Buchanan and I joked about he's not in here now, so we can't talk about it, but we joked about whenever Haley Bailey was named a Miss Basketball finalist that North Green had a reason to go down to Murfreesboro again. It's crazy now that you have 3 reasons to go to Murfreesboro now. Both teams are going back to the state tournaments, and you got a Miss Basketball finalist. Even though Jason didn't get named a Mr. Basketball finalist, how many of those Mr. Basketball finalists are down there at the state tournament now?
I think there's going to be 2 other ones.
There's 2 down there?
I think.
The Hillcrest kid.
I think is Hillcrest in it? Yeah.
And I can't remember the other team.
Union City.
Is it Union City?
Yeah, I know they have one. So, yeah. We hope Haley gets down there and wins it. Of course, we're really rooting for the girls. I wouldn't bet against this man no matter who they're playing. And then them girls, man, they fight, scratch, and claw, and they're just, you can never say never with them.
No.
It's just.
I think this is the year. I mean, I've only worked 3 years within high school athletics so far, but this is the most never say never year I've seen so far because, like Tate said last night, after the University High loss, you were 9-11.
Yeah.
Here we are going to the state tournament. I'll mention Greenville, too, just because the girls are going to the state tournament. First game I covered of them against Daniel Boone, they didn't look like a state tournament team at all.
Yeah.
They didn't look like a team that would make it by the regional semifinals. They were 5-10 at one point. Here they are going.
Marathon.
Coach Buchanan, we talked about that just a few minutes ago where they lose 4 players in their starting lineup. You put 4 more in there. At some points during the year, you've got 7 players again. Once again, going back.
Yeah, it's a marathon, not a sprint, and you'll be amazed if you got kids that'll buy in and try to listen and go out and just play hard and try to execute what you're doing. Man, you can go wherever you want to go and believe in what they're doing. And man, this last night that was probably to me, and you hate to rank wins.
I was gonna ask you that, but I hate asking coaches that because sometimes a lot of coaches are too PR trained where they won't give a definite answer.
I guess I'm not trained. To me, there's a lot of special ones, but just for everything
that was stacked against you.
For everything we've gone through this year, like it hadn't been perfect, but we had to kind of hunker down and stay together, and then like odds stacked against us or whatever. Just the circumstances of the game, it was definitely one of them for me, and I think for the kids too, most fulfilling. That first one's always special because you never done it before, and then I think it gets harder because you're supposed to go, or some of those other teams I went were supposed to go. So that's hard in itself. But then you got this team who there's a lot of adversity, had to fight through a lot of stuff, and then you're playing the number 1 team with a stud, and you're missing 2 of your key guys
on the road.
It's just in
a crowd bigger than yours.
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, there's a lot of things.
There
were a lot of things stacked against you last night, but in the end, what Jameis Winston used to do, eat a dub.
Yeah, I ain't gonna do that because he looks like an absolute idiot when he does that. But yeah, we was in there throwing us a party.
You get the win last night, Coach Buchanan. Shake his hand one more time.
Coach.
Congratulations. E-Dog, you going down both weeks? Or I guess just this week. Are you on spring break yet?
I will be next week.
This man's probably already graduated. They probably just sent him home.
Sometimes
Thanks, Tyler.
No problem. I guess that's it, Coach. We'll see about an interview next week.
Bye.
Bye. That's it. Thank you for watching this week's edition of the Baileyton Drug Company TMB show presented by Starne's Barbershop. Look forward to seeing you next time here on Grassroots Media.